Alright, so today I will be explaining the best headset for PCVR and, of course, just standalone. In this video, I will mention a lot of headsets you've probably never heard of. They are really good. So I'm not mentioning every headset that has ever existed because there's a lot of them, and yeah. I'm starting with the Quest 1, and that's the oldest we will go. So starting with the most popular headset that you can buy for standalone, we'll start with standalone, and then we'll go to PCVR with each headset. The Quest 2, the most popular headset and the most popular way to play Gorilla Tag. So for standalone, I'm going to give this one a 8 out of 10. It works really well, but sometimes and eventually in December 2026, it is going to go off the App Store and you won't be able to play any more updates on it. So you have to buy a stronger headset. I've played PCVR on and standalone on a Quest 2 for a while, and it all works really well. Alright, so one that you're probably most excited for, maybe, is the Quest 1. Now, the Quest 1 has a downside and an upside. So, before I continue, the PCVR type mode to play on a VR doesn't use the headset at all. It just uses the headset to play what the PC is playing, if that makes sense. So, basically, the Quest 1 can run on standalone, which is still really good. Also, you're getting a 4K OLED display on the Quest 1, when on the Quest 2 and the Quest 3 and the Quest 3S, you're losing that display. So there's some upsides to it. On standalone, this kind of is bad. I'm going to give this a 4 out of 10. So this is for Gorilla Tag, and you can't play Gorilla Tag on the Quest 1 in the future updates. But I think it stopped pretty early with the Quest 1, like maybe the Monkey Blocks update, and then it stopped. So basically, if that makes sense, you can't really play any of the newer stuff. On the Quest 1, Gorilla Tag still works well. It's not really that laggy, and you can still do a lot. For PCVR, though, you can play any update that you want with PCVR, unless if your PC is up to date. If it's not up to date, then you can't play Gorilla Tag on it, basically. If you play that, you can play all the other games on the Quest 1. Since the Quest 1 isn't running any of the games, your PC is running all the games. So if you're wondering how I have the finger painter and the stick, I have the cosmetic one, and which is legal, so I'm not going to get banned. You know, of course, PCVR has its upsides, such as, being able to download Gorilla Tag and play it freely on a PC. Again, it costs $20, and a PC is like maybe $2,000 if you want to go. So again, the cheaper options to go standalone. You're missing some of the greater opportunities, such as mods. But again, that's alright if you're just looking to play the game. Alright, next we're going to the Pico 4, which is one of the strongest headsets in the world. So Pico 4 is meant to be a standalone headset. Anything but a standalone headset. It should not be a PCVR headset. But we're still going to put it in PCVR because you might have seen all these dumb videos of them actually trying it. And it works well, but I don't suggest doing it if it were me. Alright, so Pico 4, let's start with standalone. So it works pretty well like a Quest 2. I've actually never gone on a Pico 4, but I know that it's really good. It's basically just a Quest 1 and a Quest 2 and a Quest 3, but it's up to date, and it's actually pretty expensive, around the same price as a Quest 3, which is around $500. But if you want like an Ultra Edition, it could be around the price of a Valve Index, which is on this list, but it's one of the most expensive headsets in the... So, yeah. Alright, so Pico 4 standalone, I'm going to give this one a 9 out of 10. It can be a little bit of laggy sometimes, but that's what I've heard from other people. But when it's not laggy, it's alright. So for PCVR mode on the Pico 4, it is getting probably a 2 out of 10 for PCVR. And that is because it gets a massive speed boost. Now, if you don't know what headset I'm on the Quest 3S. And that headset is pretty good. It's, not meant for PCVR, it's meant to be a standalone. But you can, of course, play PCVR on it. And it works pretty well. The PCVR, it gives you a speed. The reason I mentioned a Quest 3, you still get a pretty big speed. Look how far I can run on the Quest 3S. You still get a pretty... But on the Pico 4, it's like 100 times that. So should you buy the Pico 4 for, of course, PCVR? No. So I'm going to give this a 2 out of 10, I think I said. So right here, I really just yap about the Quest 3S and the Quest 3. That they basically have the same rating. Standalone, which is 10 out of 10, and PCVR 10 out of 10. I just don't want to bore you with that, so. Alright, now we're looking to most expensive, the Valve Index. With the Valve Index coming out a staggering $1,000, it's just a PCVR head. And you have to have a wire attached. And you have to have a wire attached to your headset, which can get annoying after a while. With the headset itself, it doesn't have standalone, so it's going to get a 0 out of 10 on the list. But just pretend it's not there, just because it's still a headset. It's just not meant for stand. So we're just not going to count it on the list, but if you were going to put it on the standalone list, I guess it's... Alright, so for the PCVR, So you still get a big speed boost, which is why Happy and people like that, and maybe even some other people who are use the Valve Index to get a big advantage. And while still playing Airlink on the Valve Index, it is stupidly fast. But you can't play Airlink on the Valve Index, so that's why they don't want you to do that. But this is basically the equivalent of playing Airlink on a different headset, but 100 times faster. It's kind of like the Pico 4, but it might be a little bit worse than the Pico, but it's still very expensive. And alright, so that's the end of the... Tell me if I should do something like the older headsets, the Rift S, the Oculus Go, and stuff like that with PCVR and standalone. Also, join the Discord in the bio.